Bambi loves soccer. Tonight here on What's Next here on our Facebook Live broadcast, we've got a deer in Bosnia that loves playing soccer. We'll show you some of the crazy video that we've got. Welcome inside the Channel 13 studios. Great to be with you here on this Thursday night. We're getting closer and closer to the weekend. We're all excited about that. Coming up in a moment, Angela will join us as she lays out some cooler temperatures, and you can begin looking at the forecast to begin making your weekend plans. And we'll also talk about our next chance of rain. Also coming up on the big story tonight, we've got a number of things we're going to talk about. Among them, we're going to look at a woman from Indiana who had COVID so badly last spring that she needed surgery and had both lungs removed and became a double lung transplant. I'll be talking to Anne-Marie Tiernan about her special report that comes up tonight on 13 News at 11. All right, so let's begin our fun evening tonight by talking with Angela. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing great. It was a pretty day. It was a cool day.
Sure was.
But yeah, pretty quiet evening. So made dinner for Grace, and that's it.
Yeah. What'd you have for dinner tonight? What was Grace wanting to eat this evening?
Well, this is if you know my family, that I always have to tweak the recipes just a little bit because no recipe is just quite right. This is like a one sheet pan, basically chicken and peppers.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That I've kind of, amended. So
Yeah.
I do onions and then the little peppers they sell that are red and orange and yellow. And then I put those in the oven on the sheet pan, but I actually grilled the chicken.
Right. So how has your family adjusted to having you back home after so many months? And how has Chewy reacted to you being back home too?
Well, Chewy's going to be very depressed in about a week and a day when I have to go back. And actually, Mark and Grace might be as well. They both said they enjoyed having me around. So that's good.
Good,
Yeah,
good. Well, we miss you around here. It's pretty quiet and lonely back here at the TV station. Just a couple of us here.
Well, I know for sure, especially the 11, because Anne-Marie leaves after the early.
Right.
Typically it's just you and me. You, me, Thaddeus, and Nick.
Well, we miss you, but it's fun to see you virtually. So what will our Friday morning look like when we walk out the door tomorrow?
Pretty chilly. Like this morning, we're forecasting 30s, middle and upper 30s out the door. So definitely grab the jacket. I don't think you're going to need it all day. Temperatures will climb faster than they did today, and it won't be nearly as breezy tomorrow. So we're forecasting low 50s at noon on Friday, and we'll be close to 60 for a high. And then I grabbed the umbrella for Saturday, and I definitely download the Live Doppler 13 weather app just because we've got some showers in that Saturday forecast. But it's going to be interesting. It is definitely not going to rain all day Saturday. So really the best advice is to check radar before your outdoor plans. And the easiest way to do that, especially if you're on the go, is with the app. And it's super easy. Just download it and then you can check radar. And you can see, Scott, they're kind of hit and miss Saturday afternoon. So it's not going to be a widespread, everybody gets heavy rain all day Saturday. Just kind of a few showers that may briefly interrupt some outdoor plans.
All right, very good. Well, we've got a lot of Facebook friends watching again tonight. Glenn says, my favorite dinner is fried chicken, macaroni, cheese, and baked beans. You ever had that or served that up at home?
No, but that sounds outstanding. I'm a big fan of fried chicken and baked beans. Oh, and I should say that the secret to the chicken and peppers, we serve it on a sandwich with garlic mayo.
Ooh, so that sounds good. Garlic mayo.
It's mayo, a little Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of garlic. You stir it up.
Oh,
the secret to the sandwich is mayo, garlic mayo.
that sounds good. Teresa also watching, Deborah watching tonight, Brandy watching, and Monica all joining us tonight here on Facebook Live. So the other story, Angela, we're going to get back to you in just a little bit as we continue to press forward here on our What's Next Facebook Live program. Want to talk a little bit about one of the stories that you're going to see tonight at 11 o'clock. Anne-Marie Tiernan has been following for the better part of a year an Indiana woman who had COVID so bad, doctors said she needed new lungs. She was lucky to survive COVID-19. She was very, very sick. And tonight I talked to Anne-Marie a little bit about this special report that you're going to see tonight at 11. Here's a little bit of our conversation. Imagine being so sick from COVID-19 that doctors tell you in order to survive, you need new lungs. Anne Marie's covered this Indiana woman who's really had this remarkable survival story. And tell us about this that we're going to see tonight at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, her name is Carrie Wegg, and she is a mom in Westfield with two boys, Gavin and Gunnar, that are teenagers, and a nurse at the Women's Hospital for Ascension St. Vincent, always taking care of patients. She got COVID last July, and her husband also got COVID last July. But while he recovered, she just declined really quickly, and they took her to the hospital, and she fell deep into a coma, and machines were just keeping her alive for months. I mean, she missed her birthday, she missed her anniversary, and when she woke up, it was fall. And the first thing she said to her husband, Rodney, when she woke up was, "What happened?" I mean, she's got all these tubes and everything. And he said, "COVID killed your lungs." And he really knew how dramatic that is, because he ironically is a respiratory therapist, and he works every day with patients to try to get them to be able to have good lung function and good breathing. And so really they were at the end of the rope, and they were just saying there was nothing more that they could do for Carrie. And just at that very time, they learned that Northwestern had performed a double lung transplant on a patient with COVID. And Rodney just didn't want to give up on his wife, and the doctors there at Ascension worked with him. They contacted the people at Northwestern and said, would you consider her case? And ultimately, they accepted her case, and they did a transplant last year in the fall. And what's really interesting about it is that there's so many protocols that you have to go through to make sure that you're ready and healthy enough to be a double lung transplant patient. I mean, that sounds kind of like an oxymoron. But with these COVID patients, they really had to kind of change the whole protocols, because she wasn't going to be able to be walking in there. She was not in a good situation, even when they were taking her into surgery. And so it was interesting when I talked to the doctors at Northwestern, they said, we really had to rethink everything about this. But the fact that she was a healthcare provider herself really was important to that team at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. And they really wanted to do everything that they could to give her a shot. So she got a double lung transplant. She was up in Chicago recovering in rehab over Thanksgiving and Christmas. And now she is back home in Westfield. And she's got a long road ahead of her, too. I mean, she has to fight rejection. She has to fight infection. She has to work to increase her stamina. You're basically training these lungs how to work inside your body. And it's a very difficult recovery process, but she's so grateful that her husband didn't give up on her, that the people at Northwestern were willing to take a chance. And that's kind of where she is right now. Doctors say it's going to probably be 9 to 12 months until those lungs are fully functioning. And so she's just praying that their prediction comes true.
It's an amazing story. We'll watch that tonight on 13 News at 11. Thanks, Ann.
Yep.
All right, so Ann has that special report coming up tonight on 13 News at 11. Let's bring Angela back, because we've had lots of our Facebook friends as they're watching this story unfolding, talking about this story, and also talking about some of the other things we've mentioned tonight.
Yes, and the concern, and a lot of people have heard of others having lung issues after COVID,
right.
Significant lung issues, even separate from what we call the long haulers that have lingering impact from having COVID, and very scary that she, woke up and really had no idea what was going on. And I'm looking forward to Ann's story.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a really inspiring story, I think, for a lot of us. You just can't even imagine spending that much time in the hospital. Your lungs are just so depleted and needing 2 new lungs. So we're going to have that story coming up tonight at 11. All right, let's go ahead and close out on some fun video tonight. Some of the best video that we found from our sister station in Bosnia. No, we don't really have a sister station in Bosnia, but we do have some video to show you from Bosnia of a deer who is playing soccer. Yes, in fact, he's pretty good around the goal. And I can't really tell if he's a forward or a goalie, but this particular Bambi seems to have a lot of head knowledge in terms of how to play the game. Apparently what ended up happening, this family found the deer when he was just a baby or a fawn and adopted him. One day the kids were out playing soccer. The deer just kind of stuck around, joined the team, uses his head to push the soccer ball around into the goal. And people are now showing up there in Bosnia to watch this deer. So, you know, it was kind of interesting on the early evening news. We didn't have this real great video. We had some other video, but we discovered this video and we're like, oh, we got to bring this back to show this deer in Bosnia playing soccer. So anyway, we thought that was a lot of fun, Angela.
Well, and Ann during the early said, that doesn't look like much, or something to that effect. She was not impressed with the deer moves.
Yeah, we were not impressed with the deer at all. We saw a lot of the village, and I'm sure it's a very nice village, but we wanted to see the deer actually playing, and we didn't get that. But tonight here on Facebook Live, yes, you've got Maradona
All right.
deer.
All right.
So there you go. So, all right. So, right. So for those Facebook friends who are now joining us and they want to know, again, what was that weather for Friday? What can you tell them?
You got it. Grab the jacket out the door, middle and upper 30s, so maybe some frost in some of the outlying areas, but we're close to 50 at noon and close to 60 for your Friday afternoon with a little bit of sunshine. So
right.
Pretty good Friday shaping up for us.
That sounds good. And we did get somebody who was asking about the menu. If you could share the recipe for the dinner that you had tonight.
Yes, I did. I put it under her comment.
Megan wanted to know, right, the chicken and peppers recipe.
So I think I put it on there. I will double check that I actually hit enter and that it actually made it. It's super, super easy. So I'll put it up there.
Okay, excellent. Say hello to your family, and we will see you tonight on 13 News at 11 o'clock. Angela will have the 7-day forecast. That way you can make your plans. We're also going to talk about some rain coming in over the weekend, and she'll time that out for us. All part of our big story coverage coming up on 13 News at 11. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. Good night.